Good evening and welcome to Damn It Boy Media. Hey, we're on our way to our next guest house now. We're driving down the back roads of Surry County, just past farm fields and old tobacco barns. We're in real Winston Cup country. We are on our way to Susan and Steve Kimball's, the driver and the crew chief of the green number 67 Kermit Ford. She's told us to turn left on the dirt road, then stay to the left past the old big barn. Follow the road to the shop. The shop sits back behind her house, just over the bank past the go-kart track that Kimel has built to entertain her friends and family. Just behind the shop is an endless supply of parts for her race cars. The cars range from 1965-66 Falcons to a 1976 Mercury. Common denominator in all these, they're all Ford products. With the Pilot Mountain State Park in the background, we get off track talking about the late Buddy Arrington. Buddy Arrington was the independent driver that owned his own car. He was sponsored by Panel Knitting Company back in the 80s in this Winston Cup car number 67 from Martinsville, Virginia. We shared stories from times of meeting the Cup driver, and we found that we knew a lot about him and we both respected him. So I want you to sit back and enjoy our visit with Susan Kimel, the driver of the number 67 green Kermit Ford. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Damn It Boy Media. And we thank you for showing up tonight. We're here with Susan Kimel and her crew chief, husband. We're here at the home of the 67 Ford called Kermit. And we welcome you and hope you enjoy what we find out from the history of Susan and her career. We're in Pinnacle, North Carolina. It's about 30 miles north of Winston-Salem. And so let's get into the interesting stuff now. Susan,
Sir.
when did you, how old were you when you started driving?
22.
22.
Yeah.
So how did you start this career of racing?
My dad was a security guard at the stadium,
The stadium being Bowman Gray?
Bowman Gray Stadium, and he kept saying, "I can get you in for free," and so I finally went, and I thought, I watched the Blunderbuss, if you remember them, the big cars, the Chryslers.
Oh, okay, got it.
And they had one Lincoln, and I liked them, and I thought, oh, shoot, I can do that. But I couldn't find one for sale, so I found my Comet, the car that I showed you before a while ago, in '84, and I used to make fun of it, the Comet out there, because it was so slow, and it rode crooked. It sat crooked on the racetrack, and it sat crooked when I got it, and I fixed that part, but it was so slow, and after I got it, it was still so slow. But anyways, I got it in '84, and Johnny Johnson was my neighbor. Johnny Johnson.
He runs
Flatheads now.
Flathead Modifieds.
But in 1984, he was the modified champion. But he lived behind me.
Now, did they run, what type of modifieds they run? Did they run like the Cavalier?
He had a Cavalier. Okay. It was yellow and blue, 99. But he lived behind me.
Now he wins everywhere he goes in that Flathead, doesn't he?
He does, but he was the champion in that '84. But he come up to the house, and my daddy hooked up we didn't have a welder, so Johnny brought his arc welder up there, and Daddy hooked up a welder to the back of our oven in the house. And Johnny run his cord.
You're talking about the plug-in.
Yeah,
okay.
To the back of the oven in the house. And Johnny run a cord from the oven to the carport. And Johnny welded the motor mounts in that car that I showed you.
Was your mom hollering, "This will never be the same"?
No, she was cool with it. And so to this day, even the other day when we went to Dillon, and Johnny pitted beside me and said, "How's them motor mounts doing?" So 40 years later, Johnny's still my hero.
So how'd he do in Dillon?
He won. He won, and he had us all come out and take the picture with him. And I won my race in my division, my group I run with that day, and so Johnny's in my picture too. So that was the best.
So tell us
day.
about your now. A couple weeks ago, I did an interview with a young man who his first modified race he won it. First race he basically raced, other than a little bit of dirt and go karts, he won a wheeling modified race.
Oh.
So how'd your first race go?
I got hit in the back corner and knocked the drive shaft out.
Did you retaliate the following week?
No, no. And then from then on, well, a lot of times the rest of the year, it rained Wednesday. I say, well, it rained. It's probably going to be slick. I think we need to sit out this one. But I got my courage back up and I went back, and I kept going back. I didn't do no better, but I kept going back.
So when did you win your first race?
93, after I got that one. Right there.
This one being your crew chief. That's over in the corner behind you.
Yeah. Well, okay, for 2 years I run the Comet, which was a 56 Ford frame, which was probably older than anybody else's car. And then I moved up. I bought a new car, which was a Granada, but it was a 65 Ford frame, which was a Dwiggins car, which was what everybody wanted, was a Dwiggins car.
Now that's the frame, the chassis we looked at earlier, correct?
No, it's the one that is in Winston-Salem.
Okay.
It was the first car Tim Dwiggins made, which it stays in Winston-Salem. It's been redone. It's ready to put a body on it. A piece of history, John Paul Linville, which is Kevin Harvick's wife's dad, wrecked it at Caraway. First time on the track. He wrecked it at Caraway and had to, front or back clip?
Front clip.
Front clip. Had to have a new front clip. First time out. So that's a piece of history.
Yeah, it is. We all know Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, but anyways, that car, I have it. It's ready to go. Just needs a body on it. But I run it 4 years. And then I got the one I showed you out there, which is the first tube chassis that Tim built. I think it's 77, 78, 77. And which everybody needed a Dwiggins car. That was the ticket. I mean, all these people are getting Hedgecock cars and Reynolds cars and no telling what. This is a Dwiggins car.
Same way in dirt about that time was everybody had Hedgecock cars, and you had to have that to be competitive at the time. So
Yeah.
So you said 97.
When I
you won
won,
your first race?
93.
93.
93. I won my first race in 93. Tim Arnder finished behind me. He's from Mount Airy in a Dwiggins car, which is really weird because it's the car that I run with Mac, the 6-cylinder car, the 67 up there, which is used to be Dwight Moser's car, the 12 car from the stadium years ago.
And when you say Mac, you're talking about Southern Ground Pounders.
Southern Ground Pounders. Yeah.
So you run with Virginia Vintage.
I run with
with Eric Morris.
I run with Virginia Vintage now because I can run this car with him, where I can't with the Ground Pounders now.
Barry Dalton runs with Virginia Vintage
I like
as well,
Barry.
and the Ground Pounders,
Right.
with his modified coupe.
Right.
And, so what do you do now? Eric, he runs what? Franklin County.
Franklin County and Shenandoah and Dominion.
You like Dominion?
I like Dominion.
I love Dominion.
It's fast. It's smooth and fast, but it's hot.
It is. It is really, really fast, and it's a lot of fun. Probably my three favorites would be what was the Motor Mile, which is closed down now. Dominion, and love South Boston.
Yeah, I ran South Boston with the Ground Pounders with the Falcon. It's a 6-cylinder, and it felt like the stadium because I wrecked 3 times. And but it was fun. It was fun. It was like
fun
old
until
times.
it's not.
No, it was fun wrecking. I felt at home. You know, wrecking 3 times. So it was cool. I don't get to go back there no more. So that was good.
South Boston is an awesome track. I totaled a car there.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Uh-huh.
Even after totaled it was an adventure, and look forward to going back to South Boston at some point. But it's a fast track. But Dominion, that is a great place.
Mm-hmm.
Drag strip, road course, and an oval.
Yeah.
Now you were up there for Kevin Flores and the Fairlane
Yeah.
bounty money race.
Yeah. I finished second to the the Pinto. I can't remember his name. Who was that guy's name?
Can't remember.
Shoot.
It was a Troyer modified, that's all I remember.
I had 400. He had 400 pounds on me. I finished second in the modified group, but we were booking. That was a fast race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kevin, so what was your take on those two cars? They were pretty. Were they even? Or they one having more of an advantage there that night, or?
They were pretty even. I think the Fairlane used up his tires.
He's a fast car.
He actually hit me getting around me on the first lap. He actually touched me, and I thought, why are you doing this right now? You know, but it's all good. But you know, he had time to get there. But
Yeah,
it's no big deal.
Kevin's Monte Carlo is super fast.
Yeah.
And, it's crazy how you can check out. But
Yeah.
so, what's your plans for this season?
Well, we run the Vintage Nationals, and we run with the South Carolina group because they let me. And so I've got a surgery coming up in June. So probably till the doctor tells me what I can do, I probably won't get to do nothing till the fall.
So tell us about this car. I know it is a tribute car, correct?
This was my uncle's car. Grover Sugar had it built from Tim DeWiggins. And in 1981, it was the first straight rail that went to Bowman Gray Stadium in 1981. This is exactly how it looked then. Exactly how it looked then.
It had a 67 on it as well.
No, it had a 1 on it. If you look back at the pictures we had on Facebook before, it had a 1 on it because that was Spider's number. And I told Spider, his uncle, his dad's brother, his real name's Hansel. He called me Martha and I called him Hansel, but everybody else called him Spider. I told him after I won my first race in it, I was going to put it back my number. So we did. I won 2 races in it with his number.
That was the one.
That was the one. So
Now-
then we changed it back to my number.
Now he was a Bowman Gray champion, correct?
Yeah, Spider won street champions. I think he won how many limited?
It was 1 in the street, 1 in limited.
1 in street and 1 in limited.
Yep.
And he won. Did he win the street in the old car?
In the old car.
In the one, and Billy, his uncle Billy won it in that car.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he was good with changing the number back to my number. So
And he passed away
2 years,
2 years ago.
hmm And we took it over there the first time. We worked ourselves to death to get it to run after he passed away. And he rode right there on the roll bar on a parade lap in front of the field for the start of the limited race that night.
It's amazing the stories that you were talking earlier about the stories of sitting down talking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
My uncle, who raced dirt cars all his life, he was the owner or the mechanic or the crew chief at every one of these cars, and that's all he done was live and race. And the stories that he would tell, and some of the stories I got to see growing up.
Yeah.
We had one driver that drove this modified that they run alcohol, and he got mad when they switched over to gas because he couldn't drink his liquor no more before the race. It's because you could smell it on his breath.
Oh man.
And that's the way he raced. I mean, and his name was Tommy Falcher, and it was amazing of his driving abilities. And now, did you ever race dirt? Has all been asphalt? No dirt racing.
It's too dirty.
So I want to ask you, what's your take on NASCAR taking over Bowman Gray?
I don't know till we see how they're going to do. I've heard bad things, so I'll just have to see.
Bad things
And I've just heard bad things.
Well, what a lot of folks have said to me is that they hope that NASCAR will, the tech part of it will be, they'll bring their tech people in and work that, but they still want the excitement left. You know, some of the drama may be taken out, but
I would wish that they would tech it better, and I would wish that they would quit the fighting and the running into people and doing that kind of stuff. But I've seen Kyle Busch's little interview. He's never seen a good race there. You know, did you see that?
I haven't seen that one.
Okay, that's what he put when they NASCAR first said they was going to go over there. He never seen a good race there. He'd seen the highlight reels. Well, yeah, but when we used to race there, we had good races. When 100 years ago, I won the pole for the 50-lap street race, right? So they inverted the field, and I started sixth. First time they inverted happened to be the day I won the pole, right? So I started sixth. Me and Tim Arner and Tim McGlamry, we were 1, 2, 3. We ran 50 laps under green, and we lapped all but the first 4 cars. We was getting ready to lap Johnny Arner, who was running 4th. He's from Mount Airy. That's a good race.
Where'd you finish?
I finished 3rd.
3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pole and had to start because of inverted
Sixth.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished 3rd.
Yeah, that makes you want to scream, doesn't
No,
it?
but no, it was okay because it was a good race. I was tired.
There is a gentleman that came and bought some, I cannot remember his name right off the top of my head, but he had bought a modified out of a coupe, a 36 or 37 Ford coupe that had a 6-cylinder in it, and he said it was as fast as a V8. So
Did he buy wheels from you?
He did.
I know who that is.
What was his name?
Alan McKnight.
That's it. And he
said it's what?
He
Oh,
said it was fast.
Okay.
And it was a good looking car from what I saw the pictures of it.
Yeah.
And now was he at Dillon? I know he just said he was.
No, he didn't go to
make it Dillon.
Uh-uh.
But those are the cars that I love seeing vintage cars. And of course I'm kind of, because I have a vintage car, I'm a little biased, but still it brings back all those memories of the good old days of racing.
Well, I'll tell you about that. Okay, on the 6-cylinder, that Falcon, that red Falcon right there, when we took it to Langley, and you've been to Langley,
Yes.
it won everything. It outrun everybody. It outrun Dwight Sauls. I beat the whole field in that car right there, and it's a 6-cylinder. That's how fast a 6-cylinder can be.
Oh yes.
So, you know.
Now that's a straight 6 or
That's a straight 6.
Straight 6.
That's a 300.
Okay. Just want to clarify that. Make sure that when we say 6-cylinder, we're not talking about what the Bush series used to run.
No, that's a straight 6.
That's a straight 6.
That's a 300.
Now where is that car?
That car is in Moxville right now. That too is a Dwiggins car. That is the second tube chassis that Tim Dwiggins built.
Now you don't own that car anymore, right?
No, but I can borrow that anytime I want to.
Yeah, we know about borrowing race cars to finish out the season. So
No, I run that. When the Comet blowed up, we borrowed that. It belongs to Chris Hughes, who's a real good friend of mine. And we borrowed that. We worked out a deal, and it was just like, yeah, run the Falcon, and we took it to the stadium, and we run 3 races. I got wrecked all 3 times.
Now, is it still a 6-cylinder?
Yeah, and we got wrecked all 3 times because them people are idiots. Them people are idiots, and so give up with that. So then we was running it with Mac, and he counted it as a limited sportsman for a while. Okay, so I won races as a limited sportsman. I'm waiting for him to tell me to be nice. So all of a sudden, okay, you're not a limited sportsman no more. You're a regular sportsman. Because, you know, I was out running the regular V8s. Okay.
Now, Langley is probably a great track for a 6-cylinder. Because it's flat. I actually led about 5 laps at Langley. Started on pole, and was going to start 3rd. Pole sitter got pulled in because his brake fell off.
Oh crap.
That was James Turner. And so I got moved up all of a sudden, like 1 lap, like 1 to go, I get moved up on the pole, and guess who's beside of me? Barry Dalton. You know, we've been together for 2 days, Barry and I, and Barry's.
Are in your car or in Preston's car?
No, this was in my car.
Okay.
And Barry and I, Barry and Preston are really good people.
Oh yeah,
and,
they are.
We had stayed in the same hotel, and if you go out to eat with Barry, he feeds you. Everybody eats when you go. When Barry eats,
He
everybody
likes
eats.
the Waffle House.
And so started there, and some way or another, I got to jump on him, and led about 5 laps, and then got passed by Sean O'Tay. And have you seen Sean's
Torino. I've seen pictures. I ain't seen it in
That
person.
car is fast.
Yeah.
Really fast. It's a beautiful car too. A great tribute car to his, actually his grandfather and his father.
But it's
And
inbred.
with a
Yeah.
Chevrolet engine in it.
Yeah, it's inbred.
But it's a beautiful car, and of course Sean is a great driver too. Of course his Nova is fast and is a nice car.
Yeah.
But so you're not going to race anymore until the fall, probably.
Whenever the doctor says I can go.
Yeah. I had to have surgery, and I asked the doctor, I said, when can I start back driving? He said, when do you think you want to?
Don't ask me that, right?
Don't ask that. But my wife, she tells me, no, you need to heal a little better. You need to heal a little more. I think I was back racing like two and a half, 3 weeks after surgery.
Oh.
And it was, it was, you know, when you got to race, you got to race. Chasing a championship, and it's so close, and then you get your car wrecked, and then your friends let you loan you a car. Okay, I gotta go to race,
Yeah.
had a great time, and so this car has what in it? What engine is in it?
351 Cleveland.
Oh, really? Who
Uh-huh.
built the engine?
My husband and our good friend Aubrey Fischel, Cleveland Speed Shop.
Everybody that I've talked to about this car says it's really fast.
It does pretty good. For an old Ford, it does real good.
Now, what kind of car is this?
It's a 78 Ford Fairmont on a Wiggins frame.
Now you run this car out of this shop. Has this always been your race shop? I mean, is this where you always run your cars out of?
Well, we used to live in Winston and Stanleyville, and we had that down there until we moved up here in 2000. And then he sold all my racing stuff, and then I cried like a little baby. And that's why that car I showed you out there, the one that's bent, my son bought it back for me 21 years. I tried to get it back, and then we had to buy it back, bent all the pieces, but I got it back.
Well, what are you going to do with that car?
Well, it's going to sit there probably, but I got it back.
Shit, well, my race car is in about 100 pieces, and the sheet metal's out back of the shop, and then the chassis has just come back from the chassis shop, PSR down in Concord.
Yeah.
And it was cheaper to put it back, update it, than it was to take it back, put it back the way it was.
Yeah.
But I put it back the way it was.
Really?
Because I didn't do any of the updates on it because I wanted it just like it was, because it's a vintage race car, and I wanted it back to be the vintage race car it was. The race car that my car came out of New York.
I heard it should be in a museum.
It was fast. He won a lot of races with it. As a gentleman by the name of Jim Kelly, and he passed away of COVID.
Oh.
And I've actually talked to his family. The car was 22, and but it was a really well built, well maintained race car. It just needed a better driver. But it's a lot of fun. It's fun to race.
I love that color on it. See, my other car was that color, that burgundy. I love burgundy. So, if it wasn't for Spider, this would have been burgundy.
It's a good looking color though.
I hate this color. I'm not superstitious on the green, and it's come to grow on me, but it's not my first choice.
Well, when I pulled in, what do I see up here on this hill?
All burgundies.
On the right outside the building.
Oh, my racetrack.
Your racetrack.
Yeah, my go-kart track.
Your
Yeah,
go-kart
Charles Motor Speedway.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah. We do go-kart races for the kids, well, they're grown-ups too, 40-year-olds. And we have cookouts, and we'll have 10, 12 carts here every so often. And,
You're talking about regular racing
racing go-karts,
Really?
yeah. And my little thing I built across the way, do cookouts, and I got lights and stuff.
So you told me when I talked to you a couple weeks ago that you were helping.
I'm helping two boys. I'm helping Mason Hoots. He stole my number. He's number 67. He runs at Bear Creek Raceway in Dobson, and I'm helping Houston Steele. He's Billy Kimel's grandson.
Okay.
Billy run modifieds.
Okay.
He's got his grandpa's number 1.
And they're racing at Bear Creek, which is in
It's
Dobson.
in Dobson. Houston's going to race at East Bend at God's Garage Racetrack. It's behind, I don't know what it's behind where Linebacker Machinery used to be.
Okay, across the road from the old drag strip.
Yeah, it's behind that. Yeah, but he's Billy Kimmel's grandson. He's a Stillman. She knows his dad. The wife knows his dad.
So you get out here and you race.
And we race go-karts. I can't do that. When I get in a go-kart, I'm okay, but getting out is awful. You don't want to see that.
It's I know how much fun that can be.
Yeah.
I've run a go-kart a couple of times on dirt. Dirt is way above my head.
Dirt is different. You'd think it'd be easier than pavement, but it's different. You gotta have a knack for that slinging stuff.
I've got a cousin who he's an engine builder for ECR, and he run dirt for years, and he's got an engine he was trying to sell me. It's a 900 horsepower engine, and
That's what you need.
I said, what would I do with that besides stay a while? He said, well, you come down the front straightaway, and he said, you nail it when you come off of 4, it hooks up about the flagging stand. He said, then you just put it up against the wall as you turn 1 and 2, and hope for the best. But he was really, really good at dirt tracking, but I just don't know how you.
That's like them Warners. That's what they got. The 900 horsepower cars.
Yeah. And
They lapped us at Dillon. I got lapped.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, those boys have some fast race cars, and they're on the rail also. They're really, really fast. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and but they can drive too.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not taking away from them, but I can't run with them. That's all
Yeah,
there is to it.
they're extremely fast, and Kevin Flores was extremely fast too.
Now I don't know if he got lapped or not.
Now he won the sportsman race. I'm not sure how all the sportsmen ran out this year. I know Josh won as well, but
Yeah, but he got by me. I got loose and he got by me. I didn't know that he had declared himself a open. I didn't know. And he got by me. And he was just right in front of me. So I think he got lapped, but I don't know if Kevin got lapped.
right. Yeah, them cars are extremely fast.